Yo, what up YouTube, it's Bryce, and today I'm going to be doing my 60 card NU or UU tier monster deck, basically, and that's Pokemon terms. It means like never used or rarely used monsters, basically. The idea of the deck is to make your opponent have to read your cards like at least twice a game, and still beat them. So yeah, and it's 60 cards just to troll them even more. I did this as a video response to Crow Cresta for his sort of creativity contest. And I got cut off basically because it was only supposed to be 4 minutes, and I only had like half the deck done, but it explained all the monsters there, but I'm going to explain the entire deck now for anyone who's curious. So let's get into it. We've got one Newdoria first off. When he's destroyed by battle, destroy one monster on the field. So just pretty basic 1-for-1 stun right there. One Night Assailant, flip effect, destroy one monster on the field. And also he has a secondary effect of when he's sent from your hand to the grave, add a flip effect back to your hand. So that's good too. One Mystic Swordsman level 2, a little more aggro card. It destroys face-down defensive monsters with his effect without flipping them, so it's pretty good. One Ninja Grandmaster, Sosuke or whatever. It's Ninja Maestro Sosuke or whatever in Spanish though, so there we go. Anyway, he destroys face-up defensive monsters with his effect, so that's good too, and he's 18. One Mormalith. This card, you contribute it to destroy all monsters with attack. Well, you contribute any Earth monster to destroy all monsters with defense less than the attributed monster's attack. So you contribute him, destroy anything with less than 1,000, or tribute anything else if you want, I guess. One Mysterious Guard. This is like a Ryza or Wing Blast. It spins something to the top of your opponent's deck. And if you have a Warrior face up on the field, you also get to compulse another monster. So that's just pretty good, since you can actually ever use the secondary effect in this deck. One Drillroid, this just destroys any defensive edition monster. So yeah, we have like 3 cards that kinda do the same thing, but all a little bit different, and all that make your opponent read more, because they're 3 different cards. We have one Pinguino de Pesadilla. Basically this card compulses a monster, and it's in Spanish, so your opponent like doesn't know what it does, they ask to read it, you hand them the card, it's in Spanish, they're just like lol. Or they get mad. One Green Kappa. This is a card I guess I'd classify as UU, underused, rather than never used, because people use it ever. Anyway, it pops 2 back row, and it's a warrior, so you can roto for it. It's alright, but I find it dead a lot, so I only play the 1. This deck's been through extensive testing. But anyway. One Slate Warrior is our next card. It's a flip effect. It's 1900 to start off with, and when it flips, it goes to 24, and anything that destroys it by battle, that monster loses 500 attack, so it's just a solid beater for the deck, basically. Then we run 2 Wall of Illusion, another card people may know the effect of, but some may have to read, and when they read it, they will find out that the monster attacking this creature is returned to its owner's hand. Any damage calculation is normal. Yeah, so since it's Yu-Gi-Oh! And we have creatures, they return to the hand, basically. Anyway, next 2 cards, 2 Sazank. This card's amazing, just sends cards to the graveyard, so it's great against like Gachi, Maestroke, whatever. Just a good card in general, but people still may not know what it does, so great card for the deck. 2 Absolute Crusader. You must tribute this card to destroy any special summoned level 5 or higher monster. So it just stops stuff, it's 18, it's pretty good. Pretty good. And you can roto for it. 2 Obnoxious Celtic Guard. This is 1400 attack monster, and it can't be destroyed by anything with 1900 or more, so if all your opponent has is big monsters, you just set it, and it acts like a Spirit Reaper for you. Then 2 Suzuki Samurai number 4. This card is great. Very, very trollsy. You flip a coin when it battles, and if it wins, or if you call it right, then it wins the battle, basically. The monster is destroyed with his effect. So if you do it and it's working, people get pretty mad. It's pretty funny. Card can put in work for you though, hard. And then 2 Ape Fighter. This card basically is just a beater for the deck. Some people may know what the card does actually, since Beast stuns a deck at all, but basically he's just 19, he goes up when he attacks stuff and just gets beefy, and as a generic beater, as far as generic beaters go, he's probably one of the best ones that would be classified as underused. And then we have 2 Gale Lizard. This basically just compulses a card to your opponent's hand. It's 1400 attack as well, so you can actually flip it up yourself, and then 14's alright. Yeah, but that's definitely a never used card. Plus the 4-star, just solid. Anyway, we have 2 Armored Bee next. This is 1600, and it's like a Gale. It can half a monster's attack. Unfortunately, it's only till the end of the turn, but whatever. It gets over literally anything in the game, basically, except Obelisk. Then, last but not least, 2 Dragón de Espejismo. Spanish Mirage Dragons. They just stop traps in the battle phase, so it's good. 1600, 4-star. More do you want, really, from a card? A little bit of defense and offense at once. Anyway, onto the spells. We have 1 Dark Hole, obviously. 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Heavy Storm, 1 Book of Moon. Some people cut Book of Moon, but we're running 60 cards, so honestly, why would you cut anything? That's good. And then we run 1 Rhoda. Card grabs warriors, and we run a lot, so yeah. 2 Smashing Ground. It's not Soul Taker, but it still puts in work. Just clears monsters out that you can't deal with otherwise. 2 Lance. Pretty much every deck is running Lance right now, especially stun-based decks, which this is, so we got the Lance in there. And then the 3 ofs, we run 3 MST just because it's 60 cards and we want to see it. Normally I don't like 3 MST, but whatever. 60 cards, basically. And then we run 3 Duality. It's a stun-based deck and it's 60 cards, you gotta dig, and Duality helps you do that. Then the traps start with the 1 ofs, 1 Mirror Force. Some people cut this. It's 60 cards, so you're not going to cut Mirror Force, obviously. 1 Metal Reflect Slime. This basically just acts like a Reaper for you. You just put it in defense mode, and it's 3,000. It's hard to get over, unless they MST it. And then 1 Starlight Road. This card is so dead above 1 ever. Like, I find this card dead, and I run like 30 plus back row in this deck, so I would never run 2 of this. Even though I have before and it's worked. I don't know. It doesn't work in this deck. I don't know, guys. But 1 Starlight Road. Anyway, onto the 2s. We got 2 Dark Bribe. This sort of acts like Starlight Road. It can stop the heavy, basically, is what I mean. Or any other spell or trap, basically. Since it can stop things that don't destroy is why I like 2 Bribe. Normally I was not a fan of Bribe, but it's growing on me lately, so whatever. And then 2 Bottomless Trap Hole. Bottomless just good against like everything right now, so Bottomless slaps. And then 2 Torrentials. Torrentials at 2. I say that in like every deck profile I do, Torrentials at 2, but that honestly is the logic at running 2. I don't see how you could run 1. It's just weird. 3 Compulse. Card puts in uber work right now. It's really good. It's chainable. Need I say more? And then 3 Deep Prison. This card also puts in a ton of work right now, but it's not chainable. I'd put the cards on the same level though, because this removes, that just sends back to the hand, so they can both be good depending upon the situation. And then 3 Fiendish Chain, another card I recently fell in love with. Negates effects, stops attacks, it's just really good. So the last 9 cards of the deck, those traps are really key to the deck's success. Basically, the only reason the deck wins is because the back row is so beefy, but it's just funny that like you play an obnoxious Celtic Guard and then you beat someone. And it's fairly competitive. And anyway, we have the side deck now. 1 Ambitious Gopher. What this card does is you can target 2 monsters your opponent controls, and you destroy them unless they reveal a monster in the hand. So late game, when they have like not much in their hand, you just summon this, derp, like pop their 2 monsters. Or low monster count, they may have no monsters, it's a good card, and it doesn't die if its effect doesn't work. It just, you didn't destroy 2 monsters and you saw a card in their hand. It's pretty good. 2 Gel Duo. Card's good against pretty much everything but Heretics, because Heretics can just run through it with Charger, but yeah, it's just like your sort of Reaper side in this deck, and it's a 4-star is why I play it. And then the lol part, we run 1 Morphing Jar on the side, and 2 Needleworm in the side. So basically, a lot of people get really close to milling out against this deck, because it just goes 1 for 1 with you, and it plays more cards than you, so yeah, and then so you side into Morphing Jar and 2 Needleworms, and you already run Book of Moon. That's the option to mill like 20 cards from your opponent's deck, in addition to the fact you play 20 more cards than them. So it's just funny. Like, I haven't gotten to mill anyone out yet, but I'm waiting for the day. 2 Chivalry. This is just an underused trap card, basically, so I decided to throw it in the side. Stops any effect that activates during the battle phase, so that's good, and it's a counter trap. Just underused. It has potential, basically, is why I play it in the side. Basically, this is the deck where you do something random like that. And then 2 Shadow Imprisoning puts in a ton of work against like Dark World and Inzectors. so that definitely helps the deck be competitive. And then we got 2 Yugioh Trampa, Spanish trap holes. Just, you flip a trap hole on someone and they're like, they just shake their head. Half the people smile, half the people are pissed. It's just great. And then 3 macro. Another reason the deck puts in uber work, because macro is good against pretty much everything but rabbit right now. You have macro up, it turns your trap holes into bottomlesses. Just really solid side card right now. Yeah, so the side deck is another part of the reason the deck's good. Basically, the back row is the only reason the deck's successful, but the deck is successful, so it's kind of funny. Then we have the extra deck, 1 Maestroke, just good rank 4, obviously. Leviathan, just because you can make a rank 3 at all. Utopia, Zenmeister, because you use some flip effects, you might as well maybe flip them back down. Pearl, then just random synchros. You got Android, Gaia, Ancient Fairy, Stardust, Scrap, Mistworm. Basically, the extra deck isn't really relevant. You just want to make sure you have some rank 4s at all. And then, since the extra deck space is not tight, I would recommend the 1 Chimera Tech, or 3 Chimera Tech, whatever you want, just to contact with your opponent's Cyber Dragon and their machines, or you do play the Karakuri thing, and you contact with that and their Cyber Dragon. So yeah, that's the deck. It trolls complete ass, guys, and it wins. Like, what can I say? It's good, I guess. I don't know why it's good. 60 cards. Well, actually, I know why it's good. It's the back row. But, yeah, that's my 60 card, underused or never used monster deck, basically, guys. And hopefully you guys liked it. If you did, I mean, I really get excited when I see thumbs up on my videos. And so if you guys liked the video, go ahead and like it, and I'd really appreciate it. And thanks for watching. Peace.